AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because she disinvited my kids last minute? This is a long one, and I'm still trying to make sense of everything, so bear with me. My 37F sister Laura, 34F, has always been the golden child in our family. Our parents have a clear favorite, and it's always been her. I'm the older sibling, married with 2 kids, ages 5 and 7, and I have a decent relationship with her, but it's always been complicated. We used to be close growing up, but as adults, we have very different personalities and values, which sometimes causes tension. Laura got engaged about a year ago to her fiancé, Mark, 36M, and immediately the wedding planning started. From the beginning, Laura made it clear she wanted a very specific kind of wedding, elegant, adult-only, and a no-kids event. I didn't think much of it at first, even though I worried about how my kids would take it. But I love my sister, and I figured I'd make arrangements for childcare or have my parents watch them so I could attend. Fast forward a few months. Invitations went out. Mine and my husband arrived, but not the kids. When I asked Laura about it, she said the wedding was adults only and that it was a small, intimate gathering, so she decided not to invite children. I told her I understood and that I'd make sure my kids were looked after. I also expressed a bit of disappointment because my kids are very close to their aunt, but she didn't respond. The issue is, I went to Laura a few weeks ago to ask about seating arrangements and if there was anything I should know about the schedule, because I wanted to plan accordingly. That's when she dropped a bomb. She said her fiancé, Mark, had insisted that none of the kids attend, not even for the ceremony or photos. She explained that Mark has a large, complicated family, and that he didn't want kids running around or stealing the spotlight. She said she agreed with him and had decided to uninvite my children even from the ceremony and family photos. I was stunned. I tried to explain that my kids are well-behaved and that excluding them from the family photos was hurtful because they're part of our family too. Laura brushed me off and said this was what they wanted. She told me to respect their wishes and that if I couldn't, maybe I shouldn't come. I tried to negotiate, saying I'd keep the kids out of the way and not let them interrupt, but she was firm. The only way my kids could be at the wedding was if I lied about their presence and sneaked them in, which I refused to do. I don't want to cause drama or disrespect the couple's wishes, but I also don't want my kids to feel rejected by their own family. When I told my husband, he was furious and wanted me to just skip the wedding altogether. He said this was disrespectful to me and our children. My parents are caught in the middle. They want us all to come together, but understand my frustration. I decided to call Laura and tell her that I couldn't attend the wedding without my kids. She accused me of being dramatic and selfish and said that this was her day and I was making it about me. Now, a week before the wedding, I haven't responded to any more texts from her. My husband supports my decision, but I'm worried I might be overreacting. My sister and I haven't spoken much since, and family members are starting to take sides. Some say I should just suck it up and go, while others say Laura is being unreasonable. AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because she disinvited my kids last minute? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps the content grow and motivates me to create even more great videos. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any new uploads. By the way, I'm curious, when do you usually watch my videos? While working, studying, or just relaxing at home? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for your support. AITA for refusing to let my sister's boyfriend live with us after he caused chaos at our family dinner. I, 29F, live with my boyfriend, Mark, 31M, in a modest but comfortable 2-bedroom apartment in the city. We've been together for 6 years, and we're very happy. My sister, Emma, 27F, has been dating her boyfriend, Jason, 28M, for about a year now. Up until recently, I liked Jason well enough. He was polite and seemed to respect our family boundaries. However, something happened at our last family dinner that has made me seriously reconsider our relationship dynamic. And now Emma wants Jason to move in with us temporarily because of some hard times he's going through. Here's the background. Emma and Jason have had a pretty rocky year. Emma was laid off early this year and has been scrambling to find stable work. Jason's been working odd jobs here and there, but nothing consistent. They've been couch surfing with friends and family, And Emma approached me about a week ago, asking if Jason could stay with us for a few weeks while he got back on his feet. At first, I hesitated, but decided to be supportive for my sister's sake. I agreed to let him stay in the guest room for 2 weeks. Before Jason moved in, I arranged to meet with him to set some ground rules. I told him clearly that since this was a temporary arrangement, he would need to contribute to the household in some way, respect our space, and maintain a reasonable routine. Mark and I are both working professionals, and our schedules are tight, so we expected a little cooperation. Jason agreed, or so we thought. The first few days went okay. Jason was mostly quiet and kept to himself, but then things started to unravel quickly. He began coming and going at odd hours, sometimes staying out late and coming home drunk. He left the guest room a mess, dirty clothes everywhere, food wrappers on the floor, and he started using our kitchen as if it were his own, often leaving dirty dishes in the sink for days. I tried talking to him a couple of times, reminding him of the rules we set, but he brushed it off. Emma told me that Jason was just stressed and that I should cut him some slack. I tried to be understanding, but it was getting harder to ignore the disruption. Then came the night of our last family dinner. We host family dinners once a month. It's usually a time to catch up, laugh, and share good food. This time, we invited Emma and Jason, plus a few close family friends. I spent the entire afternoon preparing a special meal, and Mark helped set the table. Jason arrived late, already smelling like alcohol. I thought, okay, maybe he had a rough day. I let it slide at first. But then, during dinner, things escalated quickly. Jason got into an argument with Mark about politics. It started small, something about a news story, but Jason's tone became aggressive and condescending. Mark tried to defuse the situation, but Jason kept pushing. At one point, Jason grabbed Mark's phone off the table, saying, "You're addicted to this thing anyway. Give me a sec." Mark tried to take it back, but Jason refused. The rest of us were stunned. I told him to give the phone back, and he laughed and said, "Make me." That's when Mark stood up, and they got into a heated shouting match. I was horrified. Then Jason stormed out of the apartment, slamming the door behind him. Everyone was quiet. The mood was completely destroyed. Emma looked embarrassed and upset, but she didn't say much. Later that night, Mark and I talked about everything. I told him I was sorry about the whole situation and that I didn't anticipate Jason being such a problem. The next day, Emma called me and told me she was shocked by how Jason behaved and that she wanted me to give him another chance. She asked if he could stay a bit longer because he was really going through a hard time right now, and she didn't want to kick him out. I told her no. I don't want someone in my home who disrespects me, Mark, or my guests. I said he could stay somewhere else or find another temporary place, but our home was not an option anymore. Emma was furious. She accused me of being unsupportive and not family-oriented. She said I was overreacting and that I should just let things go. I stood my ground. Since then, Emma has been cold toward me and has barely spoken to me. She even unfriended me on social media. Jason, meanwhile, has been posting cryptic messages about family drama and how some people are never there when you need them. I don't feel like I did anything wrong. My home is my sanctuary, and I believe everyone deserves respect, especially when they're a guest. I try to be patient and set clear expectations, but Jason refused to follow them and created chaos. So, Reddit, AITA for refusing to let my sister's boyfriend continue living with us after his behavior at our family dinner? Or should I have been more understanding, given his circumstances? AITA for refusing to help my sister after she lost her job, even though she's been unsupportive of me for years. So, this is going to be a long one, but I'll try to keep it as clear as possible. I, 33M, have a sister, Emily, 30F. We've never really been close, honestly. Growing up, she was the golden child in our family, always got good grades, was super involved in extracurriculars, and pretty much everyone praised her. I, on the other hand, was more of the quiet kid who kept to himself, struggled socially, and didn't really fit in. Our parents obviously favored Emily, and that's always been a point of tension between us. As we got older, the gap between us grew wider. Emily went to college, became super successful career-wise, and started a nice life for herself. I stayed in our hometown, working a modest job, and try to figure things out. She often looked down on me, openly or subtly, like I was wasting my potential. She's also never been supportive of my choices or my struggles. For example, when I went through a tough breakup last year, she barely responded to my texts and actually made some snide remarks to our mom about how I always seem to mess things up. That hurt a lot. Anyway, here's where things get complicated. A few months ago, Emily lost her job. It was sudden and devastating for her. She worked at a big marketing firm, and they had a major layoff. I found out through social media, which was kind of weird because she didn't tell me herself. I reached out, but she was very cold and brief. A few days later, she messaged me saying she needed help with rent and bills because unemployment benefits weren't kicking in fast enough. She asked if I could lend her some money or let her stay with me temporarily. At first, I was hesitant. I'm not exactly rolling in cash either, and I wasn't sure how she'd treat me if she moved in. But after some thinking, I decided to help her out. I gave her a modest amount of money, enough to cover a couple of bills, and offered her a place to stay for a few weeks if she needed it. Things started off okay, but very quickly, Emily's attitude shifted. She became demanding and critical. She complained about my apartment, the food I cooked, the way I spent my free time, stuff that never bothered me before. She also started making digs at my job, calling it dead-end and boring, even though she knew I was trying my best. I tried to brush it off and remind myself she was going through a hard time. Then, things got worse. One night, I came home late from work, tired and stressed, only to find Emily had invited some of her friends over without telling me. They were loud, drinking, and smoking inside my apartment, which is against the lease rules. I confronted her, and she snapped back, saying I was being overly controlling and that she was just trying to have fun. I asked her to respect my space, and she left my apartment angry. After that, I told her she needed to find another place to stay. She started texting me nasty messages, calling me selfish and ungrateful. She said I was family in name only and that I didn't care about her at all. I didn't respond for a few days because I was hurt and frustrated. Here's the kicker. Our parents found out about the drama and took Emily's side. They told me I should be more understanding because she was going through a tough time. They said I was cold and not being a good brother. I tried explaining how she treated me, but they didn't want to hear it. So now, Emily is staying with our parents, and I'm stuck feeling like the bad guy for setting boundaries. I honestly don't want to be around her because of how she's treated me over the years, but I also don't want to be seen as heartless. AITA for refusing to let my sister stay with me, and for not supporting her more financially? Or am I justified in protecting myself from her toxic behavior?